Welcome to another Digital Anarchy tutorial. I'm Tor Olson, Software QA here at Digital Anarchy, and today we're going to be taking a look inside Adobe After Effects and at how to repurpose the mask that BeautyBox creates. BeautyBox is our digital makeup software plugin. It uses facial recognition and some other algorithms to figure out where all the flesh tones are located, and then applies a compound blur. But what we're interested in this tutorial is the mask that is created with that facial recognition and skin algorithm. And you'll be able to see what I mean if I just add this to my clip and analyze the frame. We'll be able to grab our mask, and we can see that by clicking Show Mask. And this is a very, very clean mask throughout this comp, and it's actually very useful for track matting, and you'll see what I mean about that in a minute. So as you can see, it's tracking her movements very well, and it's not a lot of spill. You're maybe getting a little bit of the earring, but otherwise, the rest of the composition does a great job of isolating all of her skin tones. So if I actually turn off Show Mask, you'll be able to see that BeautyBox has its own color correction controls. Maybe I think that our model here, maybe her face, maybe her chest area here is maybe a little too red. I can actually dial down those tones. But I'm not quite liking the way that it's doing things. Let's say I wanted to use levels to do this color correction on her skin. And we can do that using a luma track matte. So what I'm going to do is show our mask. Now the way that a track matte works is that it's taking the luma values or the alpha channel values in a clip, and it's telling underlying layers to ignore the alpha channel or ignore the black in a video. And that's actually what we're going to do with our model here. We have this ideal candidate for a luma matte, and in that case, we're just going to take the composition that we're working in right now, and we're going to nest it. So if I go back to Project, and we have our Corn Basics comp here, I'm going to drag that down into a new comp. The way that a luma track matte works in After Effects is that the layer that we're referencing for our luma channels has to be layered on top. So in this case, it's going to be our pre-comp sequence, Corn Basics, and I'm just going to take the original file and I'm going to layer it down below. Now we can't see any changes yet because one layer is on top of the other, but over here is our track matte column. And from this drop down, we can see that there's a list of different track mattes. In this case, we're going to be using a luma matte, and if I just select luma matte Corn Basics, you'll be able to see that we're isolating all the skin values and ignoring everything else for a really creepy looking picture, but this is all for science, of course. Don't worry, kids. Now, of course, we're missing something. We're missing her eyes, we're missing her clothes, as well as the whole background, and for that, we're just going to take the same layer and bring it down below. And now nothing is happening to this layer, it's just filling in all the blank spaces and bringing the entire composition around to looking the same as our original source footage. However, the big change here is that if I were to do some color correction, say bring in levels to our layer that is being used as a luma matte, I'll be able to go into the controls and only change the values that are in her skin tones. Now, that's not really the look I was going for. We wanted to bring down a bit of the red in her face, so I'm going to go to the red channel and dial it in just a tad. Give her more of like a bluish look. Slightly, yeah. 40 is about where as far as I want to push it for this comp. So now you can see we were able to isolate her skin tones and only change that. Now this is really useful for something like color correction if you want to do something that's independent of our plugin, BeautyBox. But what's really fun, I think, is doing some really crazy stuff. So if I actually go into this other comp that I created, we were able to add a few effects to our model. I added some glow, some fractal noise. So this kind of gives her a little bit of a almost zombie look. Got some kind of discolored skin, got some glow, Maybe I want to go really crazy and like add some directional blur. So now I've got this, I don't know, kind of dream sequence look. If I play that out, you get this kind of really cool, neat look that'll only be applied to her skin. And that includes all these little bits mixed with hair. We'll be able to get those as well. And this is my favorite part about repurposing the mask. You really get to play around and do some fun, neat, silly things. You could even theoretically say maybe you don't want to reference the same video. Maybe you want to bring in something entirely different. So in that case, I could actually do something nuts like this. Make her the vacation lady. And you're still getting bits and pieces of her skin tones here. You can see it's kind of blurred out here and there. One thing you can do to remedy this is when you're back in Beauty Box, in your original comp where you first added Beauty Box, and turn on the show mask. So I'm just going to reference this guy for now. I can go into my mask mode, hit add color, and start clicking on my mask, adding more of those flesh tones. Of course, you don't want to overdo it. There, I overdid it a little bit. We're starting to get a little bit of the couch in the background. So I'm going to undo that. There we go. So I go back here. You can see that all those skin tones are being affected. And it's just a really fun way of messing with your footage, and also actually very practical if you want to do some color correction of your own, independent of us. And it's just an overall neat way of messing with our plugin. So that's pretty much it. If you want to try out Beauty Box for its original purpose, or if you want to mess around, do some fun stuff like we're doing here, you can go to our website at digitalanarchy.com. We have Beauty Box, the plugin that we're showing here, as well as some other ones, and some neat tutorials there as well. So do check us out. Again, I'm Tor Olson, Software QA here at Digital Anarchy, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.